Welcome back to the Barley Lads. Today we're drinking Kilbeggan Small Batch Rye. This is Kilbeggan Small Batch Rye Irish Whiskey. It's an Irish whiskey made under a heritage mash. Kilbeggan Distillery, Kilbeggan, County Meath, Ireland. 43% or 86 proof. A non-age statement, but aged around 7 years. Price-wise, you should be able to get this for around $35. On the mash bill, again, we're guessing a little here, but it's around 35% malted, 35% unmalted, and 30% rye. So this is coming out of the Kilbeggan Distillery. It is the longest continuously licensed distillery in Ireland, Suckett Bushmills, since 1757. Bushmills like to claim that they've been around since 1608, but that's not really true. But for Kilbeggan, they, like I said, 1757, it was taken over in the 1840s by John Locke, and it was known as Locke's Whiskey or Locke's Distillery. And he was loved by the town, so much so that when they had an accident in the 1860s, he didn't have the money to fix, I think it was a boiler in their distillery setup. The town came together and purchased it for him so they could continue to produce the whiskey that they've been producing. And he was known to take everything to his help out anyone that worked for him. Every employee was given a wagon full of coal at the beginning of winter, so they could make sure that they had heat throughout the winter months in Ireland. The other things that have happened in there is that they had some issues in the 1940s. They had a political scandal where they were trying to sell the Kilbeggan Distillery to keep it solvent. And it got caught up with the president, or I think it's pronounced Taoiseach, something like that, in Ireland. And he got involved in a political scandal where he was trying to sell it to some Englishmen who actually turned out to be Scottish, and they were wanted by Scotland Yard. Big to do. It was a big issue, and it was not sold. But if you watch our future video on single pots, the Kilbeggan single pot still, you'll hear more about that information. What makes this unique is the GI, or the Irish Whiskey Technical File, is before 2011. This would have been considered an Irish pot still whiskey. But when that technical file was changed in 2011, they changed it to be 30% malted, 30% unmalted, and no more than 5% other grains. At the time when that was written, the only producers of that particular pot still, or the only pot still market, was through the Middleton Distillery, and that's what they were producing, was less than 5% other grains. When Kilbeggan started distilling this, I think in 2009 or 10, obviously they thought that they could market this as a pot still, but unique because this is 30% rye. When we say 30% rye, they can put rye on the label because they're an Irish whiskey. If this was marketed as an American whiskey, you couldn't call this rye because it's not 51% rye. That's the designation for rye whiskey in America, or where we get bourbon, has to be at least 51% corn. So this is a very unique bottling, and you definitely get that on the nose and the taste. You definitely pick up some of the rye spice, but not nearly the same as you would on a bourbon because it's all barley, not corn. So you still get some of the single pot still, that pot still spice, citrusy, almost an apple on the nose. It's almost a I'd call it a spicier pot still. So you get the spiciness of a pot still, but that rye spice, almost like an herbal or floral quality, comes through. You get some vanilla. The spice almost, it's cinnamony, and the spice lingers. I would give this a medium finish. For the price, like I said, you can get this around $35 if you can find it. This is not available in Ohio. I picked this up in Benny's, which is in the Chicago area. You should be able to get this for around $35. For the price, this is a quality whiskey. It's an enjoyable product, and it is distinctly unique because of the mash bill. And it's very enjoyable. So thank you again for watching another episode of the Barley Lads. Today we've been talking about Kilbeggan Small Batch Rye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for when we have new videos posted. Slàinte.